Hello everyone! Today I will present you different grammatical topics with different teaching approaches. So there are presentation, practice and production, task, teach, task, and task-based learning. And I explain you conditionals with the PPP, and active and passive voice with TTT, and modal verbs with TBL. So let's begin with conditionals. So we are learning first conditional, and first conditional, it's about describe the real situations or possible future. And here you can see some kind of formula for that, like if plus present simple, and a comma, which is important, and a will plus verb 1. And here you can see the first part is the present simple, and the second one is the future simple, as we know. And we can make some kind of examples for that. For example, if it rains, I will stay at home. Like the first part of the sentence shows the condition, and the second one is the result. And let me try to make my own example, like if you study hard, you will pass your exam. So I think we need to move to the practice stage and to make clear for you to understand the topic deeper. So here you can see task for you, and you need to write it in your copybook to understand the structure more effectively. So I give you time to write it in your copybook. I think all you are ready for answer the questions. So the first one, who want to answer? I think Aslan.
Yes.
You want to try?
If you run past the exam, your parents will be angry with you.
Correct. Good job. So Aray, do you want to answer?
Yeah, I want to answer. You will get fat if you eat hamburgers every day.
So good job, guys. You all answered correct. Now I like you to use the first conditional in a personal way, like with real-life related situations. And you need to make sentences in a different cases, for example, about your studies, future plans, and that weekdays. So who want to start? Marjan, do you wanna?
Yes, teacher. If I finish my homework early, I will go to cinema.
Okay, that's really good. Then, Aray?
If I go for a walk tonight, I will feel better.
So that's really good. Thank you guys for the lesson. Bye-bye. So let's move to our next class, and here the topic is active and passive voice, and definitely here the method is different. We use TTT method, as I mentioned before, test, teach, and test. And let's begin our lesson. So before we learn about the active and the passive voice, let me take you from some kind of task to see your current level about this topic. And here you see active voice sentences, and you need to change it to passive voice. Like they built houses, the teacher explained the rules, and someone stole my bag. It's the diagnostic task, like help me to see your some kind of difficulties, challenges, and to help you in future lessons. So, great effort everyone, and let's go deeper about that concept and explore it. Active voice is actually about the subject who do the action. For example, the teacher explained the rules. The teacher is the doer, and the rules are the object. And passive voice, they change their places some kind, and the rules gonna be the subject, and the teacher will be the object. And here the example, like the rules are explained by the teacher. And in a passive voice, subjects are unimportant or unknown person, and we not emphasize some kind of meaning for that. So here the formal, like to be plus past participle, like the verb 3, and you can add different tenses for the place of to be and make it like the passive voice. So let's move to our last grammatic topic. It's about modal verbs and its equivalent, and here I use TBL approach. It's about task-based learning, like pre, during, and post-task. So hello everyone, today we are going to learn about modal verbs and their equivalent, such as can, could, should, would, might, must, have to, and etc. And rather than explaining you in a theoretical way, I choose to give you some kind of tasks and to improve your self-study. So let's move to our task. Imagine you and your group are planning a school event. To make the event safe, fun, and well organized, you need to create a list of rules and recommendations. To do this successfully, you will need modal verbs. So let's do it. So time is up, and I think you are all ready. And Alan, I want you to answer.
Okay, everyone must follow the instructions of the teachers and the event organizers. You should respect others' ideas during group activities, and you may take photos to remember the event.
So great job. Good. Now you need to work in pairs and do some kind of poster to the topic event rules and the guidelines, and you need to add some kind of 5 modal verbs, like by writing some rules. For example, students must obey instructions, students need to wear some badge, and the volunteers need to help organizers, and something like that. And right now I'm not gonna just manage or monitor yet and not correct your mistakes, just use language naturally, and I walk around and listen to you. Great work everyone, and now let's look at the modal verbs deeply, and we need to see some kind of clarification for that. For example, must, have to, it's the obligation, should, ought to, advise, may, and the can, like the permission, need to, have got to, it's the necessity, don't have to, it's the no obligation, mustn't, can't, it's the prohibition. And by analyzing your posters, we can see that in a natural language that modal verbs not also using in a grammatical exercise. It's about possessibility, necessity, obligation, and the rules, and you can analyze it by your poster, like with real life related task. and I think you understand it more deeper, and thank you for the lesson. To conclude, the presentation practice and the production method was suitable for the conditionals, because conditional needs some kind of deep understandings, deep explanations and about the meaningful tasks, and also production stage to make students to understand the topic deeply and to use it in real life situations. And about the teach test method, about the active and the passive voice, it was suitable for that, because before the lesson I understand the difficulties and challenges of the students, and then I worked with that. At the end of the lesson I take some kind of final tests, and here I see progress in their knowledge about that topic. For me, was the hardest method is the TBL, like task-based learning. Here it was time consuming because students need take time for making posters or just like doing tests or something like that. And also I do indirect tasks in orally in a communicational forum. So thank you for watching my lesson about the different teaching methods and the different grammatic topics. See you soon. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today I'm teaching 3 grammar rules with 3 different methods. I will cover moods of the verb, types of questions, and abbreviations with acronyms. So let's get started. So let's talk about the moods in English. Moods in English shows the speaker's attitude towards something. It can be a wish, it can be a request, or it can be a comment. In English, moods of the verb are 3. The first one, indicative, it's about the real, when people talk about the real facts. When maybe, for example, she works every day. The next one is about imperative. Imperative when people is requesting something or commenting maybe in some situations. So, for example, stay focused, study harder. The next one is subjunctive. Subjunctive mood, it's about someone's wish, someone's unreal situation. And for example, if I were you, I'd study harder. Here is the form is often created with were, and that's the tricky part. So here is the clear examples. Let's repeat after me. Indicative. Tim is singing a song. It's the everyday thing. If I were Tim, I would sing a song. That's the unreal situation. And tricky part is where. It's the subjunctive. So children, let's practice together. Feel the mood. Identify whether the sentence is indicating about the real facts. Close the window. He is commanding. Next step is creating our own examples for the next 5 years. That is like continuously you are doing, and one comment that you are commending to yourself, and one wish that you are wishing for the next 5 years you would solve. Next grammar rule, types of questions. Before I teach, let's test what you already know about the types of questions. The first, I will ask, and if you know, let's answer. The first question, are you coming to the party? Why didn't you answer when I called last night? Did you break that vase, or was it your brother? You're studying linguistics, aren't you? So the correct types are general yes or no questions. You will answer yes, I am, yes, I do, or something like that. Special or WH questions. Questions are started with WH. And choice questions, did you break? You will choose whether that or whether this. And disjunctive or tag questions, here is the always tag in the end of the question. So here is the clear explanation. 5 main types of question. General questions, yes or no. Do you play chess? You answer yes, I do, or no, I don't. And special WH questions, which are always started with WH words. Where do you live? I live in Almaty, or something like that. And alternative questions are tea or coffee? Coffee, of course, or studying abroad, or studying countryside, studying abroad, of course. And tag questions, here is always tag in the end of the sentence, and it is created with the always the to be form of the sentence. You are tired, aren't you? Here is the sentence started with are to be, and we repeat the are, aren't you? And here is the indirect questions, polite version. Could you tell me where the station is? And maybe it's something like that, and so on. So let's test your knowledge again, and what have you learned about the question types. You'll watch a video, and the first thing, analyze the question, and then identify which type of question it is.
Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening?
Oh, no. No, you were there, weren't you?
She'll be alright, won't she? Eventually, honey. She'll be alright, won't she? Eventually, honey.
So here's the end of the next grammar rule, and quickly reflect our knowledge. The first one, general, yes, no questions. So let's move to our next grammar rule. So here is the third grammar rule, abbreviations and acronyms. We are quickly switching to our task. Your task is to identify these acronyms and abbreviations according to their meaning. Do you know that or not? So here is the answer of our mini task. So the first one, abbreviations. Abbreviations is made to shorten the word, to make communication more efficient, and to save our time and avoid repetition. For example, Mr. Doctor, MD, Mr. Doctor. And North Main Street, and this is a very long sentence. To save our space in a paper, we end Main Street. Our next stage is completing whole task with your peers, with your partners. So you should focus on peer feedback, and you're creating a story, you are creating small story with your partner using abbreviations and acronyms. You should make a dialogue using special type of acronyms and abbreviations. For example, oh my god, OMG, I forgot my identification card. While completing your task, you should assign rules, communicate clearly, and collaborate actively, and you should switching to problem solving, and then present it collectively at the stage. So here is the end of our class, and let's reflect our methods and grammar rules. For me, the first one, PPP, presentation, practice, and production, was the most effective for the moods of the work because it is clearly explained and then clearly structuredly produced and practiced. And then TTT, it's the best applied with types of questions because at first students must think what they know about the topic and then process the knowledge and apply on ourselves, and then again they test their BL. It was the most fun and enjoys one for the students because real tasks make it easy to remember by themselves, and of course using real situations in that learning process, it's the best applied with our abbreviations and acronyms because they're daily used, and it's during the lesson, students discovered the patterns, the challenges, and then we are reflected on the errors and some mistakes. So thank you for your attention, and see you next class. Goodbye.